What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Magic Square Space Shuttle, or their version of a Masterpiece scale Blastoff. So this is the final in the series of Combaticons from Magic Square. So we are going to be able to put together the Combiner, their version of Bruticus, Lord of War. And that's pretty exciting. This character on its own is also pretty exciting. It's a pretty cool version of Blastoff. And I actually ordered this directly from Magic Square's website. I'm not advertising or anything for that. I just mentioned it's because it's fast. It tends to come to me very quickly compared to other places. So thanks to them. But let's take a look at this guy. There's a couple things you need to do out of box. So first, the tail fin does come separate. It's really meant for robot mode. You can actually pull it off for vehicle mode, but it does store away in vehicle mode too. So there's a little keyed thing. I actually showed it in the unboxing, but you're going to plug it in like that. Make sure it's lined up with the key. And then tab it in there, and there you go. And I was wondering, why is this out for robot mode? But that's actually what it looks like in the cartoon, which I'll put the image there so you can see. The other thing is this might be loose. So just tab this in. And now you're ready to go. Actually, if you came here just for that, then you're done. The review's done. If you're not going to transform your figure. But yeah, really good looking version. One thing I want to mention before we lose that cartoon image is the eyes. They're gray, and I always thought, that looks kind of weird, but that is how it is in the cartoon. I had a funny conversation with T-Man978. He thought that this were the eyes back in the day. Just because it's a different color, it's right around where the eyes are. And I guess I could see that if you looked at it at a certain angle, especially, old toys, you didn't really have good definition in the face. So, yeah, I mean, it's just funny that he's got the pink thing up here, but that's actually not the eyes. But yeah, gray paint, brown paint, pink and light gray, dark gray. Pretty much 100% painted, just like the others. Nice shiny paint. They didn't do a matte. I don't have any blotchiness on mine. Well, yeah, I don't have any blotchiness for the most part. Maybe a little bit on this dark brown, but in general, it's very, very well done. It looks really good. Let's go over the articulation. He has outstanding articulation. The head is on a ball joint. Actually, you can see it back here, but because they've cut it out, and I've been recommending this ever since I saw it on Legends that they do this, start putting that cutaway at the ball joint because that gets you way up. There's no reason not to have that. Then the neck itself rotates. So between those two, they get a lot of motion on the head. Because it's a ball joint, you also get the side to side. So it's smart. It's a smart way to do the head. Shoulders rotate around on a friction joint. Up to the side on a hinge. There's another hinge here so you can get up to there. Combining the two. Rotation of the bicep at a cut joint. You have a single jointed elbow. Gets you a little past 90 degrees. You have a rotation here at the wrist. In and out movement at the wrist. Individually articulated fingers. The hands are very nice. They splay out because they're on a ball joint at the base. Then they have two pins. And then thumb is on a ball joint and a pin. So you get some really nice articulation out of the hands. All of them have been very good. But yeah, they should just keep doing it like this. No need to change it. For the waist, you have a waist rotation on a ratchet. Soft ratchet. Ab crunch down to there. There's a locking mechanism here, a pin, which we'll see in the combined mode. That should lock when we go to the combined mode. Coming down to the legs, there are no hip skirts on this one. I actually prefer it. Some people say they think it looks ugly without the hip skirts. One is cartoon accurate, but two, I prefer it. I hate the hip skirts that they've been doing. On this one, you have the drop-down hinge for the leg. So you still get the really wide range of motion without the hip skirt getting in the way and then you having to push it back down. I hated that on the other ones. So I prefer this. I prefer the way this works. Out to the side on a ratchet. So the leg motion is really, really good because there's no hip skirts in the way. Rotation of the thigh around universal. Double jointed knee, full bend out of that. Ratcheted at the top, friction at the, actually it's ratcheted on the bottom too, double ratchet. Ankle tilts out to there. You can sort of get a toe tilt down just to the transformation. For the accessories, we just get his blaster done in brown plastic, sculpted nicely, looks good. Has a tab, it'll fit in either hand. And it does tab in pretty securely. Make sure you have the thumb down and forward. And there you go. Good looking gun. For size comparison, there it is next to the Magic Square version of Optimus Prime. And he looks good. He fits in very nicely with the Masterpiece scale. It's funny how long Magic Square has held on to the title of Best Optimus Prime. My opinion, of course. Best Optimus Prime out there into Masterpiece scale. Now, I know Fanstore is going to be coming out with theirs. I'm not sure that's going to be able to beat. This is still an amazing figure. But there you go for comparison. And for another comparison, there he is next to the rest of the Magic Square team, the Combaticons, and yeah, this looks great. I mean, what a nice looking team overall. I like how these guys all scale with each other. Brawl's a little bit taller, and then Onslaught's much bigger. All right, now let's get this guy transformed into Space Shuttle mode. And I wanted to mention, recently I've been like perusing TFW, for better or worse, and I saw a comment on the thread for this guy that they hadn't seen a video from MGO or from TM Reviews, and they're waiting for that for transformation. So I like that. I felt really good that people find my videos useful, especially for transformation. So I'm glad I could help. But let's get started. We'll lift up the arm. We're going to open up this panel right here on the inside. While we're here, we can pull out on this. You may need a spudger. If it's too tight, you just stick it in there, but fold this out. For the hand, we're going to fold down this piece. This will rotate in. Make sure the thumb is rotated in. So you get the hand flat like that. Close that in, and then this is going to fold down and tab back in on the outside. Over here, we're going to rotate this around, and then we're going to rotate the arm at the elbow around. Not the elbow, but the bicep. Come to the back here, there's a panel here. So you're going to flip open that little panel. Then we're going to tab this in. There's a little hinge here that allows you to get this in. This is a very tight peg, but it does go in there. All right? This is going to rotate around and sit like this. So go ahead and do the same thing over here. I'm going to do it off camera. All right, now that we've got both arms taken care of, we can take care of the chest and the head. By the way, if your hands won't rotate in like I just showed you, then just tighten up the screw, or loosen up the screw. Mine was too tight when I got it, so I had to loosen it up a little bit. This is another one that's a little too tight. But anyway, come to here. We're going to unpeg the chest and unpeg these sides. And you'll see it kind of falls down to the side. Open up here, we'll flip out this panel, flip out this panel. On the back, we can flip this up. We're going to rotate it to the side, then you're going to rotate it out. You can see the whole thing rotated past. If you have it straight, you'll have trouble getting it out, so don't put it straight. Then you can rotate it straight, bring this down, set that in, fold out these panels from the inside here. And leave that there for now. We do have to get rid of this. So you're going to rotate, unpeg this. Now you can leave it if you want. Like if you want this on here, the tail fin, for shuttle mode, you can leave it there. I actually think it looks fine with it, but I'm going to do the official transformation is to fold this in. And we will fold it down like this. Okay. That's going to sit right in there. Now I'll take care of this. So the head, we're going to flip this panel down. Now we'll bring the head into here. Close this back up. And you can see there's a puzzle piece tab that holds these on to the side. So bring these up together. There's a peg right here that's going into the tab right here. So tab that together. Locks that in place. This will go in. Make sure it's clearing everything. Tab that into place. Oops, and I folded that in. Bring this up and collapse that in there. Bring this up. Oops. Collapse that in there. Then we can bring this down. Make sure you squeeze this together as far as it'll go. Then squeeze this onto the top. Then squeeze this onto the bottom. And there's the front of your shuttle. All right, now we'll take care of the legs and the lower body. And I will say now, this is definitely the more challenging part of the transformation. There's some sequences here. Not hard to do, maybe harder to show on camera, but let's come to the back here, open up this rear butt flap, fold open these pieces here, and then leave this up like this. We're going to end up doing this piece kind of last, so you can just leave it up and out of the way like that. Let's work on one leg at a time. I'm going to just open up the legs just so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to open it up really wide. All right, so first we're going to unpeg. You can fold the foot down, unpeg this panel from here, unpeg the wing from here, rotate this around, just leave that unpegged out like that. You can open up this panel and we can open up this panel, which is tabbed in right here. There's two puzzle piece tabs. There's a lot of puzzle piece tabs on this. I think people call them fishtails. I call them puzzle piece tabs. All right, you're going to come to here, fold out this piece right here, fold open this. There's another triangular piece here. We're going to leave it closed for now. I just want to show you where it is. It's right there. Just leave that down for now because we don't need it. It's just going to get in the way. Come to the inside here. Fold open this panel here. We can open up this longer panel here. And this shorter panel on the other side. Then we can come to the other side. There's this little tail fin, and I want you to notice where it was. It was folded over the top. If you try to fold it inside here, you're going to have trouble. I actually did it myself. I folded this on the inside. It fits very nicely on the inside of this, but it's not supposed to go there. So if you did that, you'll have trouble transforming it later. All right, so we're going to open up this. This is on a hinge, double hinge, actually. Fold that down. I'll give you the space to rotate this around to the other side. Come to the inside here. We're going to rotate out this piece, rotate out that piece. Now this one is easier than the other one because this one has two pieces to rotate out. So it's a little trickier. That one, you're going to rotate it straight. Rotate it like this. You're going to have to rotate that inner piece out when it's rotated halfway. Then you can fold it all the way down. And I'll show you when we get there. But we're going to accordion the leg down. So it ends up tabbing in right here. There's a tab. Right here on the side. And a peg right there. So tab that back in there. Tab it back into the knee. We can open up this panel here. And it has to work its way past these little clips. So open it, rotate this around, and then open that. It should make its way all the way around. All right. On the inside here, you're going to open up this panel. That'll clip into there. And now you can kind of see where we're headed with this foot. Come to the back here. We're going to fold out this booster on the top. If your screw is too tight, just loosen that screw. You're going to fold this down. This will open up. Panel right here. That'll allow you to slide this up. Then you're going to tab it back in. This will come around and sit right there. So you have two boosters now facing back. All right, now we can put all this together. I know it looks crazy. It's actually not that bad. It's just, like I said, it's harder to show you on camera than it really is in person. It's really not bad at all. So bring this back down. You can see there's two puzzle piece tabs. I'm going to go to the inside here. Make sure you're getting this clip on the inside of the the knee. Straighten up the leg. Make sure you flatten out the hip, drop down hip joint. That should be straight. One thing I had wrong is I had the knee bent. There's a tab in here going into the thigh. Make sure you hit that spot. And like I said, if it doesn't line up, that means you have the knee not straight. So I'm going to push that knee down. There we go. Now it's straight. And that's how to tell if you don't have that straight there, then you'll have trouble getting everything together. So make sure you do that now. All right, now we can push this wing in right here. I'll tab into the sides. You can push this up and in right here. On the back, we're going to close up this foot. All right, so we should be looking something like this with that straight. On the bottom here, now we can fold out this. There's a peg that's going into a tab here. So tab that in, and that kind of finishes off the one side. I'm going to do this side because now we can squeeze the legs together. There's a bunch of pegs in the middle that are going to hold this together. The tail itself has two really firm tabs. So give that a squeeze. Give this a squeeze. Give this a squeeze. And then this will tab in. There's two, again, another two puzzle pieces there, and then a clip here on the front. So bring this down and then get that clipped in there. And you can kind of probably squeeze some of these in a little bit better. And then come to the bottom, and right here you're going to pull out this landing gear. All right, there's Space Shuttle in Space Shuttle mode. And it looks really good. It comes together nicely. There's a lot of panels, especially in the legs. But it does really come together nicely. You got that nice pinkish purple windshield here. Darker purple here. Brown here. A lighter brown here. And then gray. At first I was like, why is there so many different colors? But with the cartoon there, it's definitely on. You know, it looks exactly like that. You got the gray back here on the tail. Here are the boosters. That looks really good. For the rear wheels, obviously it's not actually wheels, it's just those, but it works. It does sit on those. Front wheel, it does actually roll, but these obviously don't. Overall, it's a good looking shuttle. It doesn't quite sit, but you can kind of balance it on this rear tail. So if you want it to sit up like this, you can. And we do, of course, get weapon storage. You're just going to fold the handle down. Peg folds out there. You're just going to tab that in right here to the top. And I like how that looks. Nice little gun action. And for a size comparison, there it is next to the MP-10 Optimus Prime. And it's a nice big shuttle. And just for fun, there it is with the Fans Toys Thomas, their version of Astro Train. And it's actually a little bit taller. About this, I guess a little bit longer too, slightly longer. And width-wise, a hair wider. So bigger in all the dimensions than the Fans Toys shuttle. All right, now let's get this transformed into combined mode. And we actually have to undo a little bit, unfortunately, but close down the landing gear. Undo this on both sides. Undo the wing. So just unpeg it from here. You can unpeg it from here as well. And just give that a little room. Same on the side, unpeg it from here. Unpeg it from here. And there you go. We got to bring up the panel that we put together before. So right here, there's a little spot for your fingernail. I use a spudger to get in there. Flip this up, fold these panels in, leave this here. It's going to end up down here, but just leave it there. And we got to undo all of this, just the back. The front section's okay, but the back has to be unclipped. So you got to undo all this. And I do recommend a spudger to kind of split it. Just makes your life easier. Undo these, both sides, and open this up. So what we're going to end up doing is collapsing the leg down so that the thigh is back in, but leaving out some of these panels. All of this has to hide away. All that has to hide away. But we're going to leave the rest out. Okay, so fold this down. Fold that down. And this will come down to the side and sit like that. Come to the other side. We can open up this. Unclip the panel from the bottom. That'll give you access to in here. And we got to fold this up. So fold this up. This is going to go in. That folds down. This has to go on top. That's the order. If you don't do it like that, you can't fold this down. So make sure you put the inside panel and then this outside panel, then the inside panel. All right. We also don't need the tail fin anymore. So you're going to bring the tail fin down. All right. So this is going to unpeg from here. You're going to collapse this up. Oh, and this also has to hide back away. So fold that in, fold that in. Now we can tab that back into there. This is going to accordion up and tab back on the inside of the thigh. Yep, just like that. We do have to hide away this, so fold this back. Fold down the toe. And that'll sit like that. This is going to hide back away in here, but leave it extended like this. All right, so if you got everything right, you should be able to collapse everything back down. Bring this down to the side, clip it in so it sits like that. And yeah, that's one side done. Other side's exactly the same with exception to those two little panels that I had on here, but everything else is the same. So go ahead and do this. I'll do it off camera. Be right back. All right, now that we have both legs done, we can collapse them together. I did have a mistake here. You don't want this folded up. I had this folded up like this. You want it straight out, and then that's going to fold down and clip in right here. So I have both of those out. All right, clip this together. Give that a squeeze. It's a pretty tight fit, so you really got to give this a squeeze. Maybe take out this wing. Give yourself some leverage. Make sure it's squeezed on both the bottom and the top. Then put back these wings. Give those a squeeze. This will sit down right here. Then we'll rotate the waist. On the outside here, we're going to open up this panel. So you can just grab a spudger and flip down this. And there's the groove for the combine mode. Then we'll take the hand. And the hand will plug in right here. You can see there's two spots here. And then these two are going into two spots there. Not sure. It's pretty well tolerant right now, but I don't know over time. But go ahead and get that pegged in. And I recommend you do the top one first, then do the bottom ones. All right, and there is Space Shuttle in combined mode. And it's pretty good looking. They did a good job on this. I do worry a little bit about this connection point here where the hand connects. It's fine now, but I don't know how many cycles that has. But overall, really nice looking arm mode. Obviously, we'll get this combined. I think in order to actually slide the thing in here, you're going to have to open this back up. I'll just show you. I think you're going to have to lift this up and then fold this down so you get enough room to slide the thing in. Then you can close this back up, close that down. Otherwise, it's going to be hard to get it in there, and you might scratch up the paint. But other than that, pretty good. It does have elbow band up to there, rotation at a ratchet around, which was the old waist swivel. Hands can rotate In and out movement at the hands gets you all the way down. Fingers are individually articulated at 1, 2, 3 pins, and then there's a ball joint to give you a splay out motion. Very articulated hands. Thumb is on a ball joint and 2 pins, and it can rotate. So yeah, really good, well done hands on this. All right, for comparison, there it is next to the Zeta Toys Bruticon arm. And man, I can already tell this is going to be a better looking combiner. I mean, look at how much kibble you got here on the Zeta. All this stuff on the side. Elbow only bends up to there because of the kibble. It gets in the way. And you can see the Magic Square gets further because of that extra articulation. Hands are still pretty good on the Zeta. Although you don't get the... we do get the splay out motion. So we get that. We get similar movement. The hands are pretty good. I think Zeta established the goodness in combiner hands previously. But yeah, I mean, this is just tons and tons of kibble. I mean, overall, it's pretty solid, but yeah. So yeah, I'm excited to see the final combine mode. I haven't actually looked at it yet. So final recommendations on the Magic Square Toys Space Shuttle. I'm going to give this a 5 out of 5. Strong recommendation. This is probably the best version of Blastoff I've ever handled or seen. Not only does it look good in all 3 modes, it's very fun. Very fun to mess with, very fun to pose. You can see I got into this pose pretty easily. You know, it's well balanced. There's no die cast in it, in case you're wondering, but it doesn't need it. You know, it's well balanced and well built. The Space Shuttle also looks really good. That mode is not only is accurate, but it just looks good in general. The ARM mode does look good. I can't speak to the combined mode yet because I haven't fully done that, but it's looking pretty good so far. So yeah, I mean, I have really no complaints on this guy. It does only come with 1 accessory, so maybe it's a minor complaint if I had to make something up. You know, I'd say, you know, maybe another accessory or another faceplate or something, maybe to give you the different look of the eyes. But yeah, I mean, that's a nitpick. So really, really well done here. Now, this whole set has been really good. I've said it from the beginning. If they can keep doing this, if they can keep taking their legend scale figures and upscaling them and adding the hardware, adding the detail, you know, fixing the joints and all that to make it work in the Masterpiece scale, I mean, they're going to be unstoppable. They can make some really nice action figures, just like their Optimus Prime is, you know, a really good figure. So that's it for this review. Stay tuned for the combined mode review, which will be next. We'll also be doing a comparison with the Ocular Max version of Blastoff. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.